Hello, everyone. My name's Yuta Jazz, and today we are going to do. Eh, Here are my decks. I didn't even prepare my fucking decks, but I might as well just talk while I do that. So, we are going to do a reading about having too many readings because there's a real weird, like, anxiety vibe happening on at the moment. Because a lot of people are really ending a lot of stuff, disconnecting from a lot of stuff, transforming, maybe going through ego deaths, right? Maybe like settling into a new reality and a new vibe, but then also purging the old at the same time as they go through the transition. There's just a lot of energy that's very high end, especially within the collective, but also for individuals and people. Even if you get the same message over and over again, right? It can be confusing, or the more you listen to it, it could become distorted because of either expectation, attachment, or like almost like trying to figure something out, dig into it, or prove it, right? And at this current moment in time, that's not necessary. It's better to kind of like try and vibe into, your health, your feeling, your peace, your solitude, your hobbies, your passions, vibing into a more heart-centered approach that isn't as analytical, right? Or isn't as, what do you call it? Isn't as heady. That's more, yeah, heart-centered. That's more flowing. That's more, being in the present moment and living your life and enjoying that regardless of like how it ebbs and flows rather than pushing for a goal and trying to run to it and then attaching your whole like expectation of self or experience of self to that point, right? We are always living in the now. There's no past or present or future. There is just us going through that experience. And I can feel that a lot of people have kind of lost like where they've been going because they've been trying to figure out the future and it's undefined. Everything's moving, all the parts are moving. The things that you want are happening, but they're not happening in a way that you can logically figure out or have a like pinpoint for it, right? It isn't something that you need to like okay, we're doing 5 piles anyway. It isn't something that you need to like force, really. It's something to have faith with yourself and the universe about, right? And I know that the holiday season makes it almost impossible to see that or live that with that because, if you're in a family, and maybe even a parent, you are looking after the fucking household, right? You're preparing for the holidays, the meals, the decorations, driving around looking at like shops and window shopping and other things, meeting up with people you haven't met up with for ages because, stuff. The holiday season is kind of packed currently, either energetically or in terms of life. So yeah, if energetically there's, a chance that you are actually isolated in hermit mode and you're having a lot of internal stuff happening. Maybe there's some metaphysical stuff happening if you're on the mystics path. You could be experiencing weird paranormal stuff, supernatural things occurring, and like readjusting to a new sense in life because of, activated abilities and ascension symptoms and other things. And if not, then maybe you are taking care of practical things so you can step into that later, or so you are like readying something up. Everyone's in a different place, but it's really important to currently be in a place of like trust, peace, and calm with oneself. So if you've been confused, if you've had too many readings, if you've been obsessing, if you've been trying to force something in your life and all of that, maybe you're just dealing with a lot of confusion, even though spirit's freaking talking to you like every damn hour. This is the reading for you. This is basically for anyone that is really in that energy. But even if you don't have those problems and you've still been called to this reading, there's a message here for you. Don't worry about it. Follow your intuition. I sometimes watch readings and I'm like, I do not like the title and this is not what I'm looking for, but Spirit is telling me go there because this is a conversation we need to have with you, or there's a message for you, or there's just, a narrative you can reflect on Maybe it isn't current, present, or like really important, relative, but it is it is something, right? It is something to sit with and energetically process. So I'm gonna uncover all of the cards because I don't know, that's the way I want to do this. And we're gonna also check the top and the bottom and see what happens with that. Oofta, okay. So obviously, as always, you can divine whatever you want yourself. In general, I think using readings that way is the best thing ever. But there's also, I guess, a message that's coming through to me from this of like, you'll achieve what you want to and what you need to, right? And you will settle into your energy if you kind of let go of the fight of it or proving it or doing it. It isn't about anything like that. It's about kind of like releasing the urge to control, force, focus, or be a particular way and just sitting in the now, in who you are, right? And letting that kind of connect with the magic of you, with the magic of the universe. Just letting life be life without making it into anything. Because a lot of people are now kind of trying to figure out like, okay, I have these things, or I understand this, or I want to do this or that. How do I do it? And that's like a big energy right now. Like, how do I figure out how to go forward, what to do, or how to control this, or how to change this, or how to make sure this happens? And it's like, you really don't need to do anything. You saying that you need to be doing something is really messing up your vibe internally. It can manifest some things you don't want to, like the work is elsewhere. It's not where you think it is how this is coming across. So, yeah, let's start with uncovering the cards. Very long intro, but I feel like that was very needed. And we'll check out what's happening here. So we have the Ace of Cups, reverse for pile 1, Three of Cups upright for pile 2, Six of Wands upright for pile 3, Seven of Cups reverse for pile 4, and Four of Wands upright for pile 5. Really interesting stuff already happening to me, in my opinion. I am so looking forward to getting into these piles and readings. So yet again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check out whichever is calling to you. Could be one, could be all of them, could be however many. And I'll start with pile 1 and see you there. Hello, pile number 1. So you chose the Ace of Cups. We're gonna get into the Tarot right away from the same deck and see what happens. I don't know why I needed to do that, but I did. Maybe you've been hearing knocking and tapping all around you. If you have, don't worry, it's nothing evil. I don't know why that kind of came through. You have beings protecting you from evil forces. For anyone that resonates too, if you know you're getting worried already or anxious, you might not want to be for like you know watching this reading because some things are going to come up that like you don't need to worry about, but a person that isn't prepared to hear those things might worry about it. Like if I hear something about something, let's say dense or malicious happening energetically or otherwise in my life, I usually am not scared of hearing it because I'm already aware about it. Or it makes sense and explains certain experiences or feelings I have. It doesn't necessarily mean something I need to control, work towards, defend myself, or otherwise, right? If you have that vibe, that's not healthy, and you might want to click off. So I've been hearing a lot of that through other readers too, which is quite interesting. So I'm guessing a lot of people are trying to kind of find issues where there's none, which makes sense, you know, like when things are changing or you're improving or something else is happening like that, you do want to find fucking issues because maybe you haven't had that experience of not having to do that, right? Constantly preparing for the worst and all that. And plus, mentally, like in terms of survival and genetics and being a human, um, we are primed for that. We are primed to look at fear, danger, and other things that we need to be on top of for survival reasons. We're only now really evolving out of that, depending on what you believe, right? At least that's the way I'm seeing it. And it's important to really focus on that as a health matter, as a important aspect of like you're gonna function your best if you don't look to the problems, to what you gotta fix and the fears or whatever. If you're constantly looking for problems, you're only gonna see and experience problems, and you're not gonna be able to refocus your mind or speak differently to life. But if you're focusing to actual solutions and things working out or them not being as bad as they seem, right? Because then you're talking to yourself about it in a calmly manner, you're explaining it, you're rationalizing it, you're processing and chewing it apart so it's digestible for you or so you can navigate it. Even if you're panicked or stressed, you actually get different results because you either handle the situation differently or the world around you manifests differently. Something else is attracted to you differently or has to encounter you differently, like interact with you differently because of your different approach, perception, and just vibe about things. Your confidence is higher, your comfort is higher, right? And it is effort. Like most people think that this type of stuff is easy. It's not freaking easy. Um, why are we talking about it? We're going to see. I am allowing, the channel information to come through. Yeah, the way this is coming across is like you aren't investing in something emotionally because you're afraid that you need to take care of other things before you start emotionally investing into it, but really you're keeping yourself away from your joy. You're not letting yourself be the person that you are inherently because you're making rules up on how to go for something that is important to you in terms of like you care about it, right? It sparks you up, it makes you happy, it interests you. Maybe it's a hobby. Maybe it's a passion project. Maybe it's just like opening up more time within your routine to do something that isn't just work and obligations and other things, right? Maybe you really want to get into drawing again. Maybe you want to set up a social media thing. Maybe you want to start writing your book, and that's going to take 5 or 10 years, but you could start right now, right? And instead, you're like, oh, I need to go to writer's school. I need to get into book clubs. I need to get like into all of these things. I need to move house or disconnect from these people, and it's like you're not quite capable or able to because you're not focusing like in a way that's useful to you or harmonious to you is how it's coming across. Oh, look at that. We got the star. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. You got three fucking aces? What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. So, yeah, you're looking at yourself all wrong. You already have the potential to be your best self or this the self that you want to be, the one that you gotta the way you gotta like appear for yourself is already here right now. You're already that. You don't need to change anything about yourself. You don't need to improve. You just need to like start actually doing like physical actions towards the thing and it'll work out with time. It's not about thinking about it, it's not about getting motivated about it or inspired for it. It's going out of the norm, out of your usual routine or what you're used to and just trying it, just saying like fuck it, whatever, I'll do it. Maybe I don't have the best tools or the highest like I don't know follower count or maybe the best support system. Maybe I don't even have qualifications, right? If it's like writing a book or art. Which side note, which isn't that big of a side note, but side note, if you're an artist, you're a fucking artist. You don't need a fucking education for it. There's so many people that are amazing artists in their own personal lives without having an education for it. A lot of people that don't understand concepts of art or quality or technique, right, and can't figure it out, may need to go to school to get introduced to it, but there's way more fun ways of doing it than getting a diploma from an arts university that doesn't actually fucking help you create a proper like job with it. Does that make sense? Like, yes, it can help you as an artist, but if you want to be an artist, you can just be an artist. It's gonna take years to create anything. It's gonna be a whole lifestyle and process. You don't need to actually be employed as an artist, because if you're working as an artist, being an actual artist might be hard in your free time, right? Like if you work to become a graphics designer in university, that's fair enough, right? A lot of people got employed as graphics designers without finishing university, and they were so passionate about it that they just spent every single free moment of time in front of Adobe or whatever, Photoshop, other like GIMP maybe, right? Maybe even they when they were six started out with Microsoft fucking Paint, but that didn't like deter them or stop them. Don't I'm trying to translate a saying in Lithuanian, but it kind of came in English. So there we go. Don't make a fucking cult out of eating, I think is the saying in Lithuanian or something like that. Maybe it's Russian. I can't remember. Bilingual, which is bye bilingual. But I think basically what's coming across is like don't make a system rule set or game out of it. Don't make anything out of it. Just live your life and express yourself and see the magic with that. And know that that will actually start bringing awareness towards like, why does this light you up? How is it cool? You're going to get excited, right? Because you'll get out of your comfort zone, do the thing, and then you're going to see the passion and motivation and inspiration come back, but you'll have to move through the challenge of like whatever it is. Maybe it's hard to maintain, it's hard to keep up. Maybe you don't have the resources yet, but you have enough, right? And you can, with time, save up for better equipment. Maybe you need to spend 2 years looking at certain types of techniques, how to do this shit. Regardless of where you are in your journey, which is either starting or getting more invested into it, the time is now. Stop making it out to be something you can't do because you are there, you can do it. There's no system to this, there's no requirements. Once there will be like a societal thing, you can tune into it with it, right? Then you can do that. But currently, applying societal standards to yourself is gonna fuck this thing up. It's gonna take your fire away for it because you're going to just find more excuses on how you're not ready enough because that's society. Society always tries and says like it's so supportive, but really it's going to tell you where you need to improve and where you're limited and where you don't know something. When if you don't have the precursor of like learning a bunch of shit, right? You can find new techniques that no one else knows about. You can find new ways of doing things no one understands because they have this thing taught into them that this is the way you got to do it. You have something special. Don't disregard it and disrespect it and give it away because someone says or something says or the world says this is how things are done. It's very easy to think in this day and age that everything is already done and figured out for us and we need to learn it. When in reality, that is the most false bullshit ever. We don't know anything. We're still all figuring out everything, and there's a new way to every single thing you've already seen done 1,000 times. That's the beauty of this world and life. You can improve and expand in your own vision in a way that you really want to do it. So, yeah. Let's go for I don't know which one. Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. Hello, stop. Stop. Please. I do want to like turn off autofocus, but now that I bought the app, I don't know how to do that. From what I understand, I would need to do it through the pad, the app that I'm using, and that's just too hard in a way. The reason why it's hard is because I use it for cards, but also for streaming and recording my face, and to find like a good focus for cards and my face like to the cards I can do that. To the face I can't. I would need someone to kind of do that for me. Um, and plus with the cards, I want to have it focus, but Yeah, I'm just rambling. I'm just rambling. Um, if anyone's actually used Droid Cam OBS and has some good stuff to tell me about it, or Droid Cam in general, like let me know in the comments if you have some good info for it. Okay, I need three more off the top. Okay, okay. Literally what we said. Literally what we spoke about. So, what you're getting here is you don't need to do as much as you think you need to do. You have a straight path in front of you you could be taking right now, but you've made excuses that it's not the best path or you're inexperienced. And that's what's currently stopping you from becoming the person that you want to become, or from having the focus that you can or want to have, or from working and taking steps towards like your target, towards your desired like talent, outcome, feeling, vibe, like the thing you constantly just dream about doing, right? Or think about like my life would be better if I could do this thing. It's it's so far away because you're not doing something currently right now, right? So a person that would be like, let's say, super tech savvy or an engineer or fixing cars or whatever, they can start in their garage, house, whatever, right? And open up a business there in that way, and still eventually progress to having a studio, to having an office, to having their own, like, I don't know, engineering bay or like a proper crafting bench. Maybe their crafting work table is the most ghetto shit on the fucking planet, but they are so good, it doesn't matter. And as a person that's noticed this in their own life. I don't know, you can tell me if you've had this, but when you invest in like better tools, it doesn't always actually make the thing more enjoyable. Because if you focus on just enjoying the thing, it doesn't matter what tools you have, right? Once you progress enough, then you realize, like, oh my God, it's so nice. And that, like cooking with a sharp knife. But if you're starting out, like cooking with a sharp knife might not be the vibe for you. It might be actually scary, right? But then after years of cooking, you're like, I love sharp knives because I can do all of these things so much better and safer, and I don't cut myself as much. Like I can vibe with cooking, right? It feels like butter. Whereas, if not, the experience, you might view it differently. So yeah, you can do this. You can get out of your head. It's the time. You're at the perfect fucking cycle for it. You don't need to do more shadow work. You don't need to be looking at yourself, how to improve or other options. If you want to, sure, go ahead. You'll add like 10 years of nonsense though. I will admit. Some of you might be so critical of yourselves because you are kind of like a, star energy that you could extend this by way too long. Like if you'll realize it, you could quit it like 1 year and a half from now, 2 years, and be like, why didn't I start it earlier? But if you don't, then you might actually end up 10 years later being like, I fucking wasted the opportunities or opportunity I had to just do it regardless of the circumstances. So yeah, I think this is pretty fucking clear cut. Pretty damn clear cut. Um, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for having this reading. I hope you don't brainwash yourself with more confusion after this. If you want to see more of me, there's a link tree down below, and also, check out my channel, and thank you for commenting, liking, and subbing. Peace. Hello, pile number two. So, we're going to wait a little bit. I wanted to get into it, but I guess, yeah. You are getting people coming to you. Doesn't matter how much you fight it, doesn't matter how much you say you don't want people, you don't need people, you're not ready for people, they're not there, they're not coming around, or they're not my vibe. It's still happening. There is no way you can avoid this because you've done so much work and you've been so alone all of your life that it's impossible to get away from this. The divine God, spirit guides, your higher self, what whoever you believe in, right? Fairies and trolls, maybe not fairies and trolls, but I mean fairies I would agree because they're I don't know why, but that candle going out kind of feels important to someone. I don't know why. You can figure that out yourself because I don't know. But yeah, fairies are kind of like a definite background for some people. Trolls not as much. I've not really heard of people that are connected to trolls, unless we're talking about internet people. But anyway, um, whoever it is, you'll be connecting with them very soon. Yeah, you don't need to believe in it. Yeah, you can be afraid of it. But it's better to just leave it and kind of like ignore it in a way, right? So it just naturally occurs and happens. And if you don't want to be reading cards, hearing this message, or seeing tarot readers keep coming at you with this, then just mind your own business, you know? Just, I would recommend not having the intent of getting out of this or running away because that'd be kind of stupid. You think you don't want to see these people right now, but once you meet them, oh boy, oh gosh, or oh golly, you're gonna be so over the moon that you finally fucking made it, you know? I think like one of the biggest comments you can give to someone struggling, and it's so hard to believe it when you hear it, but it's the fact of life is don't ever do anything stupid. Don't like isolate yourself forever and ever of your life. Don't harm yourself or, you know, put yourself down because you don't know to whom you're going to be like an answered prayer or the best company ever or the best friend ever, you know? And I can feel a lot of emotional stuff happening with this pile like instantly. Like I can feel so many feelings coming across of like deep desire, longing, feeling alone, wishing to be at home and there's no place like home on the planet, right? Which is weird, wanting to be accepted, admitted, connected to with, and feeling that mutual thing and not having it. So this is a big topic for some of y'all, and I respect that for sure. Um, just don't make the mistake of, you know, taking this away from yourself. It's already not been a part of your life for so long, right? You don't need to push towards it or attach to it or pull away. You can just accept that at some point you will be happy that, you know, you will be connecting with someone or you will have those friends and people or that you can meet them or that they will see you and love you the way you've always wanted to be seen and loved, right? Like someone you really click with, life feels better with. And it doesn't need to be forever, right? We can have multiple people like that and it kind of changes through stages of life or depending on what happens. But that energy you deserve, you will get, you will have, and it will come to you in the form of real people that really care for you in those moments. And it'll keep going on regardless of the people, regardless of where you're at or what's happening. But but it's important to be aware that you can stop this if you really want to because spirit is not your damn boss. Not in that way anyway. We have free will and choice. We have intent. It doesn't matter how good something is for us. If we fight and say no so much that it, you know, defeats it, then that's it. Spirit has to follow with your action, with your intent, with what you say. And I feel like some of you are realizing, like, okay, maybe I don't want to be such a big ass to myself and my guides. Maybe I don't want to be so rigid and critical about life or probability and possibility, or even people, right? Because if you're gonna say, like, all people are this, you will say that all of the people you see and meet are only this, and you can't meet the people you deserve to meet, that want to see you, that are longing for you just as you are longing for that connection. And I'm not talking just about relationships in terms of romantic. I'm talking about any connection. Stranger, friend, teacher, a student, a romantic partner, a lover, a fuck buddy, whatever it is for you, right? Because there's so many different types of relationships, and whatever matters to you is your thing. Although this is something of like an emotional resonance thing. This is real. This is talking to relationships that do center around being overjoyed that they've actually come together and finally are resonating, and it's an emotional fulfillment type of feeling. Maybe you really connect logically, but it touches you so much to your core and soul and heart that it's just an emotional, like overflowing joy, honestly. Some of y'all might have met someone in autumn and you said no, skip. You will have another chance to come back to that person or for them to come back to you, and you will have to make your mind up, and there will not be any more repeats after this. So you should really take into consideration if you're looking at them through your old eyes or if you're honestly seeing who they are right now to you currently without any part of you holding yourself back, or being a negative Nancy basically, and protecting you from possible hardship in relationships or people, right? If it's your intuition, trust that, but I don't know, for some of you, that pumpkin means some big shit, some big ass stuff. And if you accept this person, you will actually be treated well and pampered and looked after. I just see like going out and having good times at restaurants or burger places or whatever in the middle of the night, out of nowhere, just being like, I can't sleep. Do you want to just go for a drive and have some food and I don't know, throw rocks into the sea or some shit, right? Like it feels kind of like as sincere as that, as a person you can randomly message or call up and have a vibe where you're actually like having a good pastime or maybe even celebrating things. I also really feel this vibe of sharing life or secrets or what you've been through and kind of just like, when you don't like you do share something intimate or important, but you don't go into details, but that's enough. Like in the moment, you vibe so much that you can feel the story or you can feel why or what they said, and it's an appreciation on that level. This this is it. This is what this is coming through to. Very good, healthy conversations, existential, lovely vibes, and other stuff. So just, don't give up and delete those nasty comments, remarks, or beliefs that don't need to be a part of your future going from where you're going. Because right now it kind of feels like you're at a clean slate, but you can definitely turn it either way. And Spirit wants you to turn it towards like understanding that if you feel like you are a part of something or you need to be a part of something or that you don't like being a hermit or you're lonely or other things, right? That's for a reason and they're trying to make you uncomfortable so you can move somewhere else. That's reversed, I heard. Is it reversed? Yeah, it is. Like, stop fighting. You are fighting your own desires and wants and lying about it and saying like it's stupid to feel this way or want this because life doesn't work this way. And no offense, but why do you think you know how life works? Like, who are you to say that's not how life works? You only live for 80 fucking years or something like that. If that, or maybe more, right? But I doubt you understand how the eternity of everyone that's ever lived on planet Earth and all of their lives, right? And what happens in those lives. I doubt you understand the infinite complexity, options, choices there. We have 8 billion people. You think you understand how those 8 billion people work? And I'm not being argumentative in a negative sense. I'm just being serious because I feel like someone here is quite stubborn, not in your own fault, but you like it's kind of like there needs to be intervention or help with that, and you understand and accept it. It's not like this isn't a negative exchange. This is an exchange of like I guess a challenging thought or opinion to help process something that is needed. Does that make sense? So yeah. Um, 8 billion people on the fucking planet. Never has there ever been something like what we have on the planet in terms of society, technology, the shifts, the changes, the deep desires of individuals that want to actually conversate, connect, grow, develop, find company, right? Yeah, there's a lot of people that are just isolating and being online all the time currently, but that isn't the only truth. Like, if you're looking to the world being a splintered, separated, just arsehole, you might need to really disconnect, go and find yourself in the world and soul search to change that belief because that's not true unless you make it true and you've gotten it from something or somewhere. And it probably lined up with you having a painful experience, you getting hit hard, and someone taking like this disadvantage approach to something important to you in terms of existence or a topic or subject, right? Like when we're kids, we really forget how many and which things hit us so hard from someone just being in a bad place and us asking a open naive question about the world or just whatever, right? Like you ask about if real love is real or whatever, falling in love is real, and they create this big ass story about how all men or women are fucking hoes and assholes and bitches and dicks, and there's no option for that. And it's like the kid takes it to heart, and all of their relationships can be messed up for the entirety of their fucking future, right? So there's something. I feel like someone's crying, and I'm sending you love. Um, in general, just because that has been imprinted or said doesn't make it any more true or like less important to go away from, right? Because we might think it's important or a survival tactic or like they knew what they were talking about or it just feels like if a parent says that to a kid, that's it. But you have the power to live your life however you want, regardless of what anyone has said or how they've been. It doesn't really matter. So, reversed or upright? I'm hearing upright. I'm feeling upright. So we're going to do upright. So yeah, this is where you're at, but this is what is promised to you if you go towards your own future. But you need to look towards the things that you actually like or want or desire and accept that you need to change towards that yourself, not to disregard the world as not having this, because that's just stopping you from trying or looking out or being open, just like even taking your own capabilities in hand and being like, I can create this. Like, let's say the world doesn't have this, quote unquote, right? You can be the first person to create it for yourself. You can be the person that opens this up to the world. Like, why can't you, right? Oof. Ooh. Yeah, death of the old truths and beliefs of how anything and everything is, and in terms of, especially in terms of happiness in life, in terms of emotional fulfillment within life, feeling actually safe, feeling like you're with a good partner that you can conversate real things with and other stuff. It is death time. You are destroying it. Some of you are only starting with this reading because you're having like some help with it, which I'm glad you are. Others of you might still fight this, and like 2 weeks after this, you'll be like, "Fuck, maybe I can have the Ten of Cups." And others of you are way further along and confused on why the hell you're having this reading. Which, hey, sit tight. I'm confused why you're here too, but if it was a part of your like life, then maybe it's for a reason. Whew, I don't know what's so this. There's something heavy about this. Yeah, you're taking away the bachelor life. Oh, okay. But this is a big thing for some of you. Hyper independence is coming through. So you've lived a bachelor life for a while and you've never really, and if you haven't, maybe you'll live in a different way that's kind of like that. Maybe you have roommates and other things in a household community or family thing, but like you're not really connected to it in terms of like really being emotionally settled and happy. It's more like you're taking care of things, you're looking after them, you're the one that is in charge, you're maybe naturally you don't want to be that, but it like falls to you, or like in general you need to take care of yourself all the time, your home, your business, your health, your happiness, your everything, right? You don't have support or a partnership. But now it's kind of like letting that go and really stepping into this is for some reason relevant for the people that are past this. You're now stepping into the full embodiment of you being past this energy and not having any connection with it. For others of you, you're coming to that point, or you're analyzing and realizing that this isn't you and you don't want to be this. Just because you're capable doesn't mean you should be living your life like this. Like, the world is made up of different types of people, but all of the awesome, like, caring emperors, empresses, whatever, right? Like, people that can take care of shit, but they don't want to or need to, shouldn't be taking care of shit, is kind of how it's coming across. Like, you have your own life to live in a carefree approach that's really good for you, right? And doesn't need to be unhealthy or toxic. And so, what's the word? I can't remember the word, but ipso facto, you can have the same person to you. I heard the word, but it was muffled. So whatever the word was, still like in terms of you can attract this energy. If you're gonna be this, you're gonna have this. It'll come to you. It'll be good for you. And yeah, just don't give up. Don't give up. And take your time. Like this is big. This is really really big. Um, yeah, I'm sending you a lot of love. You can make it through, and I think you'll be very happy with yourself. I think the decision is made as above, so below. Currently, it is made. There's no whiff waffing. There's just not quite movement yet because you're now that you've made the decision, it's kind of sitting in the limbo of it, like the post decision making like feeling, right? Kind of like when you're in an airport terminal. Um, Yeah, and you're waiting for your flight. So you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Hmm. Interesting vibes. This is really good vibes. Weirdly enough, it's a little bit of everything. But thank you for being here and having this reading. I really appreciate you. Let me know whatever in the comments. And if anything, there's also a link tree of my other stuff down below. So yeah, have a good one. Hello, pile number three. So you got the Six of Wands, which honestly, besides the Four of Wands, seems like the best pile to me. But let's get into it and check and see what is happening. Lots of options with this pile. Lots of support. Also, lots of excitement from spirit. So be grounded and make your own choices. You don't need to do everything your guides say, or even your higher self says, because I feel like this group is more like connected and integrated with their sovereignty and power and meaning in being here on Earth in their body, like in their life. Um, Even if you want to make mistakes and you know it's probably a mistake, right? But it's one that it's worth it to you or something, or is interesting. Talk it through. Be sure that you want to go there, and you can even choose that, but understand that then you need to take your own accountability and choices in moving forward with stuff that maybe won't feel like a mistake or won't have those repercussions and other things, right? That's just coming across for some of you that are super like excited and you want to do a bunch of things, and others of you are being bombarded by a bunch of like guide messages of like, go here, do this, do that. It's like you need to tell your guides what you need from them so they can support and guide you the best. Like, yeah, they'll still do what they know they need to. Um, and they'll continue that work and you'll still like follow their guidance, right? But at the end of the day, if they're overwhelming you, if they're scattered around, if you are having a hard time focusing on your own desires or where you're going or what you want to make or the life choices you want to make, that's on you because you are the one that's supposed to actually um like guide your own life. You need to make those decisions and then the guides support you in that. Um unless you've laid it out for them, this is where I'm going and this is what you need to do, and then you follow them, right? But even then, in the moment, it's best if you make your own decisions and choices. And I'm not saying disconnect from your guides, disregard their help or when they warn you of things, right? And I'm not telling you to be completely reckless or spiritually like just telling them what it is, how it is, and like that. No, it is just like you have freedom, and with that freedom comes power, and with power comes responsibility, and you are in charge of your own life and have fun. And know that like you have a lot of options, but if you want to choose one thing, you can tell them, like, shut up on all of those things. Let's go here. If there's going to be a better way or path or a better thing like this, sure, then you can tell me, like, oh, change here, do this, but stop being, like, confusing all around me because I can't focus. I can't deal with it. I don't know what I want to choose. Like, that type of energy. You can connect with spirit that's best for you. You don't need to follow spirit. Spirit is you. You are with spirit all the time. Spirit is you, like you connect to go forward with your own decision of how you want to feel or the life you want to have, and some things you did sign up for as well, previous to incarnating. And you can like navigate that. You can figure it out. Um, you're not an aimless like whatever, and your life is not set in stone. I don't know why that was important, but someone's definitely having like a lot of like weird guide stuff, and it's like guides, you should be doing your job, and it's like it's you that is giving them away your power without focusing your intent, yeah, or desires. Da, 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 da. I've been thinking about getting some new decks. I think I should like look around so I can actually, I don't know, put some on Throne on a wish list, because, like, I don't really need more decks, I'm gonna be honest, like, but I feel like something's been calling me to get more decks. I don't know what. I'm just failing that, so yeah. I am quite picky about them, but we'll see. Reversed. Okay. Okay, so all the cards are in the way that they're supposed to be is what I heard. It's what I heard. Okay, so ooh, yeah, so that feels like the astral confusion and the guide stuff and the weird like misunderstandings. I think because you have this potential victory energy and just like the power manifestation currently, because you are aligned, you're like on your vibe. You have some type of mojo going on, or it's opening up. You have people as well energetically trying to sway you. So, like if that's happening, even if you're not spiritual, this can happen. Just say like I don't take on energy that is not of my own. I push away any intent that is not for my highest good, right? Um, or is controlling or whatever. And in general, you can ask like the energy of those friends, your family, your parents, your partner out of the room or out of your energy. Give all of that back to them. Some of you don't want to do this, so it's fine. But for those that are struggling with having a bunch of ideas, it's like, where are they coming from? Why does it involve these people? Da, 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 why is it a little bit like obsessive? It's because some people are trying to really connect with you to create something together, or they want to be a part of your victory stage that's upcoming or happening currently. And it's like they're pulling and pushing and trying to be a part of it. And yeah, you can ask them out, you can give their energy away, you can disconnect or say, I'm not manifesting anything with you because I do not want to, and I am using my own power for what I truly desire and is for the highest good of all. Or whatever it is. Like spells, magic words, right, is a thing. Find whatever conversation is best for you to take care of this weird astral stuff. Um, you are going to need to like transition or balance two worlds as you're going towards the victory. So if, let's say, you're moving, right, you're still gonna need to be where you are and get ready the stuff you need and be ready to move that one day or go that one day, right? Maybe some stuff is gonna take a while to drive to the new place or other stuff like that, but you need to be prepared and living currently as like, I'm here, but I'm one foot in, one foot out, right? Or even if you're focusing towards the future, like and thinking about the change, you're still taking care of things in the present. Whatever it is, you still need to kind of like do a balancing act here. For some of y'all, it is like as above, so below. Like it's the spiritual and the practical world, and it's kind of like taking care of business in both. So the physical is okay, is also coming across. Like this is kind of coming across with a little bit of a magician vibe. Yeah, you're gonna get more motivation and inspiration with time, and you'll be able to nurture that and get into it. But currently there is still a energy where you're kind of like going away from things because if you look at the whole spread, it's mostly positive, but it's like you're internally struggling with something. Um, you're still managing responsibilities and keeping things afloat. You still have some weird shit happening with people. Um, who aren't really, some of them are just toxic and a bit ego, but some of them don't even want to harm you. They might just not be, aligned with you. Or they're not for your highest good. Like they need to do their thing, you need to do your thing. But yeah, it's really important to take care of this. Then you're not motivated, you're not feeling like you can take care of your passion and projects and the stuff you need to work towards passion and projects. There's a lot of obligations and taking care of like physical things, maybe paperwork, maybe finances, maybe physical items and furniture and household things, like something like that. Um, and then there's this thing of like you're still going away from past thoughts or emotions or from all of the neglect that you've had like in terms of conversation, mentally, a lot of like agitated conversations and unhealthy like snaps at people is coming across here, like a person unhealthily reacts and you get like a lot of shit, right? And that happens so many times that it's kind of like there's a lot of stories being released with it and iterations, and you're taking in the point of like, okay, disconnect from the old, take care of my things, be in my cocoon of nurturing as much as I can, right? Like take care of myself as much as I can, be where I need to, and just like not worry, because you will transition through this. These thoughts will go away. You'll stop reminiscing. They'll stop haunting you. Yes, you're kind of going through a very emotional time, and it's kind of hard to keep balance, but you will be able to invest into this thing just a little longer. Just just a little 2 weeks I've heard for some of y'all, but like honestly, you're at the finish line. It's just you've ran so much. It's hard when you see the finish line and everything's hurting. You're out of fucking breath. You've given it your all, and this is the last stretch where you still need to give it all a little bit more, right? To see what you're made of, but also to see what you've like done, what you've traveled, right? What you've created, where you've ended up with it, and after it, and from it. Don't do any emotional rash decisions. Um, don't invest into people as well. Very strongly no. Don't invest into people. Some of them are crying about their life and saying how bad it is for them and that no one helps them and they need someone, but really they're not aware of how one, they're super unhealthy, two, they're fucking other people up by being that way, and three, they're literally a fucking siren trap to just suck someone into their problems or to act like, oh, you can fix them, and then they can't because it's not their problems, right? And this person or these people aren't taking responsibility for their own actions that have led them to this point. and then they're blaming everyone around them, and then luring them into this false sense of like, you're better than me, so take care of this for me, or you're powerful, or you can, or you're healthy, or everything's working out for you, right? Why can't you help me out? It's like, don't listen to them. Don't invest anywhere that is not good for you at the moment. Disconnect, say no, turn off your fucking phone if you can. Like, just do what you need to do because these people aren't doing what they need to do. And if you give in, oof, that's gonna be the feeling here. Like these pentacles are gonna go like a propeller upside down everywhere. They won't stop spinning. Um, you'll forget you want to actually fucking take care of yourself or need to. The baby's gonna go off into the water. All of these people are actually gonna be up in your business all around you, making it even louder. Like just don't. I'm warning any overly nice empath sensitive currently here right now that like you don't need to do that. If you needed to do that, Spirit would let you know. But you don't fucking need to do that. They deserve to be where they're at because they've done this to themselves on some level, which is hard to sometimes hear or accept. But that's all of us. We're all living our damn lives, and like we're the ones in charge of them that can actually do something about it. Blaming other people or sucking them into our own vortex of craziness is not the damn answer. You know, you're doing something right for yourself, and you're not pulling anyone in, and you're not letting yourself be pulled in. I think that's fair, don't you? If you don't, I think there's something that might need to be refreshed and come to terms or accepted here before, things move on. But let's get you some universe has your back like stuff. Oh my gosh. Ooh, those and those. Any more spirit guides? This one or that? Which one? This one, okay. All right. Da, 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 da. Just to like talk on the point we just had. So oneness is my true nature is your energy currently where you are, which is kind of like in a cocoon, incubation, embryo, whatever, like maybe even just like a galaxy or star coming back into itself and actually like exploding into shining or being, right, into life. So that's where you are currently. Um, Trust your feelings and emotions, express what you need to yourself or on paper or in art or to your guides. Scream at the fucking moon. I don't care. Anything. And hope is the conduit for miracles. This is about other people. So this is reversed, and this is a card of power. This is speaking to divine power, basically, and like how everyone has the right to seek higher understanding of their life and the meaning behind it to gain that happiness, right? And to actually like grow within that. Set their seeds in, actually like develop and learn and grow and start blooming in that understanding of like, oh my gosh, like yeah, you have a divine right to express yourself and be in your power. But a lot of people don't around you, and that's why they want you to be at the center of all of it. So okay, let's watch what's up here. This reversed over here. There we go. So the thing that's instantly jumping out is this one reversal. There is a stream of love supporting my dreams, and it's reversed on the Queen of Wands. So you actually doubt that you will get inspiration or motivation, and you lack the belief or trust that you are supposed to live your dreams out and actually feel this, and that the universe is pushing you towards it or wants you to do this or express yourself. Like the universe will feel like it's aligned because you are embodying your own alignment. Does that make sense? It's kind of like in physics, right? If you have things that are resonating, it'll create more resonance within around it. If you start having like dissonance or something that's pushing out alignment, then that's going to create a vibration that's going to create literally more dissonance. It's going to push shit out of its fucking zone. It might even transform shit into stuff that it's not supposed to be, right? Besides breaking it down or making it less aligned, I guess, in many ways. So you are supposed to do this. It's just you need to get rid of that old energy and focus on you and just go through the process and say fuck it, like balls to the walls it. Stop worrying about offending people or messing up or creating problems. Like you've already won. You're already carrying the winning. I can't remember what's the word for this, but Vainikas is in Lithuanian, like the celebration little like thingy-maboggle over here, right? Um, you already have it. So instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good for all. Yeah, you don't need to fight these people, connect to them, tell them how it is or whatever. They're not in the space to accept you or hear you or understand where you're at. Just leave them, you know, if you want to send a prayer to source or God or universe about it, like I believe they'll figure it out, or like, you know, it this isn't just the highest and best choice for me, this is the highest and best choice for all of us. When you're doing something that is important for you to go forward and develop, it actually, even if other people start experiencing hardship or losing you or heartbreak or things stop working for them because you left their life, right? It opens them up to learn that they are more capable to a better life themselves. They can start changing, they can, or that they need to, you know, start taking care of themselves more, whatever it is. Like, if you're going to be around them taking care of their fucking problems all the time, they're never going to face their problems, whether it's financial, health, or otherwise. And it sucks, but like, if a person isn't going to take the grace that someone else is giving them to support them and going forward to a better life, and they're abusing that right, I no one should sacrifice themselves for that. You're way more important than that. Your happiness is way more important than that. So you can believe that they're in their own life that they are aligned to. They'll do it, figure it out. It's okay. You know, it's for the highest good of all. You don't need to work towards that or encounter that. If you have a big heart, you can send them loving prayers or trust that they'll do what's best for them or figure it out or, you know, use their power that they have as they want to. Don't pity them. Don't feel guilty for them. Don't shame them. Don't anything. Don't be mad at them. That's just that's just like a practice that really fucking helps, is all I'm gonna say. Just leave them, you know? But when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. So, yeah, you can take care of all of these things. Just focus on yourself, on your love, on your light, on the point that you actually have something going on, and that power is like multiplying right now the more you focus on yourself. And in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me minded towards right-minded thinking and the energy of love. So yeah, as you're gonna go through the hardships or maybe deep reflection or maybe feel some hard emotions, maybe even cry a bit, right? And then release it and go ahead into whatever other vibe or mood you'll have after that. You can trust that the universe is going to bring you to like a solid, healthy perspective or new perspective, or that you can trust that through going through whatever this healing or darkness or reflection or acceptance thing is, right? Maybe it's just about accepting that like you're doing this alone or other people are not good for you. Whatever you need to accept, maybe a hard truth about, like you delving into your pain is going to lead you out the other end to where you can actually feel better. Like maybe the universe is supporting my dreams, right? Maybe I am capable. Maybe I can take this time to look after myself. Like whatever it is, yeah. So that is it. Um, I hope this has helped you. You can do this. It's okay. You're not a bad person if you go through this journey and release yourself into the world that you really want to be a part of and an example of. And if anything, you know, write about it, talk about it to invisible people, talk about it to real people, look for help, seek it out. Look at what would help you and maybe start doing that, whatever it is, you can do it. I believe in you. Your guides believe in you and the universe believes in you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting this reading currently and you wouldn't be moving towards this. So, thank you. I hope have a beautiful time. And if not, I hope you just look at the mirror today and say you beautiful because you are. And yeah, if you want to see more of me or I don't know, have a vibe of like personal reading or other things, I do Twitch and you can find that in the link tree. Also, yeah, I appreciate all the comments, likes, and other stuff. So, see ya. Hello, pile number 4. So, yeah, you got the Seven of Cups reversed, which is one of the more interesting vibes. I mean, we're also going to use a different deck, but it feels really good. As a Seven of Cups reversed, feels really good. Mind you, Seven of Cups reversed isn't really that bad of a card, depending on the placements, right? Like Seven of Cups upright is worse. I mean, depending. There's definitely some placements where this card like that wouldn't be great, but overall, right now, it's kinda nice. Upright or reversed. Reversed. What the fuck? I have not seen this thing before here. Huh. Okay. So, what I'm looking at is like the sides here has these fumes, but they're the only real color that's that bright besides the center here that is so jarring. Like it's a weird beige out of nowhere that doesn't match the color scheme whatsoever. And it's kind of like it's like kind of like weird spiky energy going towards the fumes. It's not fumes, it's not from the fumes. It doesn't look like supportive. It looks like something's trying to attach to it to like leech off of it. It reminds me of like psychic parasitical fucking energy. I'm gonna be fucking real here. Or void energy, like the nasty void energy. There's a few different types of voids. There's a few different voids in general. There's different factions of voids, you could say. Um, but this would be like the realm of more void monsters and like sludge and toxicity and like the deep depths of darkness and like where light doesn't go and stuff had I don't know it's yeah anyway moving on something is trying to leech off of you. I'm not going to say that something is leeching off of you. I think some of you yeah it's like a mother or something and you really need to get like rid of her, which doesn't sound nice or fun when you're talking about your damn mother, but let's be real, if it's not healthy and it's not for your highest good, then that is it. You can't change it. You can't change people. And just because you're family, it doesn't mean you're obliged to suffer each other for the rest of your lives and make nothing of it. It's better to have a trauma breakup than to be attached forever and no one's happy, everyone's miserable. And, one person's being a battery for someone that is nasty. Doesn't need to be a mother, could be some type of parental figure, could be a father with a, whatever energy, could be a single parent, could be an authority of some sort, or like a grandmother, godmother, godparents of some sort, guardians, right? Official guardians. Um, yeah, parental guardians. I don't know like how when you're going through orphanage that's called, but you need to get rid of someone because they're confusing you, they're letting you feel like you're less than, and they're trying to attach to you, and you're trying to be nice about it. I feel like you see it, you hear it, you feel it, but you're playing it off because like they're not in a good place and they're fucked up and they've done so much for you and where would you be if it wasn't for them and a bunch of other things. And it's like, look, it's true, but that was moment to moment and this moment is different than those moments. Just because a person was really great and nice all their life, right, doesn't change the point that they're now a murderer and you need to put them to jail. I know that was an extreme example that's like way too much for something as much as like cutting relationships off for your betterment, but this is really important because people, especially spiritual, nice people, empaths, or anyone with a kind fucking heart that like believes in the better of the world and is fighting through that or for that or whatever, right? They really place stuff down. They can self-sacrifice for years because they're a sunbeam, they're the star or something, right? They're the emotional support fucking pack leader, which is a big thing. Um, they can put it off and they can make excuses because they have power and other people don't, and it's kind of like there can be an obligation to either support or, there could be traditional brainwashing, there could be family imprinting and toxic behavior and expressions and subjects like that. Like there can be a lot of stuff. So whether you do this or not is up to you, but this is your message of like directly like, yes, you've been getting these ratings for a reason. Yes, you've been getting this message for a reason. Yes, everyone's saying the same damn thing over and over again because this is the truth of it and you can't run away from it or avoid it. Um, you're feeling unwell, confused, and like you can't move forward or there's nothing unknown to discover, right? Like there's no adventure. You can't go out there and see what life is about for yourself or make your own calls because this person is holding you back. And it feels like a person, but it could be more, whatever fits, you put it in the blank. But you're feeling this way because someone's using you, the power you're supposed to feel, the freaking drive, the explosion, you're supposed to feel it for yourself, by yourself, with yourself. So, as hard as this is, like, get over yourself. You're not you're not a bad person for choosing what is right for you or setting boundaries or telling someone that they're doing something that's not good or wrong or even just not even communicating and doing what's important and right for you because you can't meet each other or find that or have that. Um, it's really important for you to just like do what's important for you, you know? And this person might actually respect that and start shifting and changing. They might freak out and blame you and say you're a narcissist asshole. But at the end of the day, at least that will be their real, like, it will be real, right? Like, this will really be told to them. This will be honest. This will be open. This will be transparent. And this will be, like, something that really might shock them awake and be like, yo, you need to get a hold of yourself type of thing. So relax. It's okay, is what I'm hearing. But stop trying to get your energy up and then blaming and like guilting yourself and saying like, oh, if I only did this or if I only could do this, but I'm not feeling it or I don't have energy or I'm fucking sick all the time whenever I just get to doing this, right? Like stop playing that game. Just be real and accept the reality that might be right in front of your face that you really didn't want to see, and stop wasting your time trying to force yourself or build up that fire and just go and whatever. Because like it's just this person, honestly. Like it is just this person, and if they're gonna be gone, you're gonna get out of the Seven of Cups to, I would assume, the Nine of Cups is how it's coming across. Um, yeah, the Nine of Cups. You'd be starting to feel like the Nine of Cups. And if you can't remember what that card looks like, the Nine of Cups is the guy with nine cups behind him on the throne in front of you with his arms crossed, looking really smug and full of themselves. I might have described it in a way that doesn't sound positive, but literally, you'll be emotionally confident and happy with yourself and sure on where you want to go and what you want to do, and you're actually going to be emotionally healthy and happy and have energy levels and not be facing like a weird anxiety depression that's like at the back of your skull scratching at you and then making you feel guilt or shame that's maybe not even yours. From what I can see, you're a very nice person. You don't have a lot of things to be guilty or ashamed of. It's just that people around you can make you kind of like take you off your game and make you feel guilty or ashamed that you're not open to them, you're not nice to them, you're not bending over backwards for them, you're not doing anything that they ask, even if it's very little simple things, like doing a fucking coffee for them. If you don't feel like doing a coffee for them, don't do the damn coffee for them. Like, you're not anyone's butler. You are not entitled to anyone except for yourself. Doesn't matter if it's your mother or not. That's like really strongly coming across. Also, the thing that instantly jumps out here is, well, one, feminine fucking prowess, but also 24 and 64, which has a 40 gap, right? Besides that, this would be a 10, this would be a 6. Uh, and in general, both are very close to number 2 or divisible by 2 in a way where it's kind of like towards balance and other things. Like, I don't know, these two numbers are really kind of connecting, but my numerology skills are failing me. I guess the way I'd be reading this is like 2464, so 2464, so progression in stability, finalizing some things and coming back into not just balance, but it's more like it's not more about the balance, it's more actually like balancing things out towards stability, finalizing things out, and coming into your feminine energy so you can take care of yourself and nurture, right? And just kind of like be where you're at. Have it done, have it finished. My TV just turned off and I use it to see if the camera is recording. So, you can wait a little bit and stare at the cards. It's really weird. I walked over to my PC and the number on the clock that someone just sent me is 2323, and we were talking about numbers. Um, Also, you could be watching actually this video, the person that sent me that photo. So if it is your pile, you know this is so direct to you. This you can't avoid this shit. Moving on, moving on. Um, because I don't know if that person I have in my mind that sent that picture is actually gonna watch this, but if they are, I'm gonna be real and say like, ha ha ha. It's fucking funny how spirit works. But I want to put the cards back the way they used to be, and I don't think it's gonna work. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I feel like I can't put them back. It's weird. They weren't even in that big of a confusing fucking setting, and yet I feel like I can't do it. This feels like the just keep this then. Just keep this. Yeah, so something's definitely changed that hasn't changed for a while. Something internally, subconsciously, or emotionally has really triggered because of this reading, is the way I'm hearing or seeing it. Because I've never had it where I can't put the fucking cards back the way I just had them a second ago. It's kind of frustrating my OCD brain, but my spiritual heart is like, nah, this is on the vibes. So definitely, definitely tuning into your power, because these two cards are speaking about immense, intense power. This is also speaking about spiritual authority as well as seeing through the illusions and having the ability to do so and actually taking matters into your own hands from that, right? Not like lying to yourself, but accepting truth and using the power of truth. Because if you know you see and you act from there, right, in a loving way, you can make anything happen. And that's because a lot of people hide and they don't say the truth and they don't use the truth. Even if they don't say it, they can still use truth energy. If you know or see things, that's such an immense power because you can call them out to improve, you can dismantle them by saying what's up, or you can block the like injustice from happening because you yet again speak to it, or you're so truthful and you see so much yourself that it can't fuck with you, right? Like an opponent isn't gonna attack if they're out of a advantage, right? And you have the higher ground type of thing. If you already see their stance or their intentions or hidden agendas, that's what it's gonna happen. So yeah, I would recommend just really accepting the point that you have a good authority and intent here. You are actually connected to good energy. Um, your ancestors are really supporting this as well. They really want this to be done, and you are wise. You are taking your time. You're not being egoistical, right? You're making tough calls and tough decisions that are super important, not just for you, for everyone. You're doing it out of like love, wisdom, a kindness of your heart. Or like imagine, I don't know, a very mean dysfunctional kid, right? And a very mature mother that just kind of strikes through that and like really uses authority in a way that's healthy and kind of helps or makes the kid like really refocus, right? Like a stern motherly authority or womanly authority that you just can't go against. That's the power that's coming across with the witness card, but also the heart of the sky. This is talking to your shadow and kind of finding the beauty in like not being nice all the time and understanding that is still like accepted by, you know, higher forces or your guides or ancestors or just the universe isn't going to see you as like someone that's a problem just because you're causing conflict or problems. The universe needs more people like that do it in the right way, that are considerate, that don't go out of their way to cause harm, but actually step into the power of like, I need to call this, I need to say how it is, I need to set boundaries, I need to be an authority, right? Even though it's scary. Kind-hearted people, when they need to do that, take it the right way, the best way, if they realize and understand it, right? If you're afraid of it and you think that's bad, obviously you're not gonna, even if you do it, might not believe it or think it's good, but when you really realize your own potential with that, um, everyone's going to look to a person like that as authority and hope they tell you the truth about things, or hope they call you out, or hope they come to you to help you with a problem or a mistake you've been making, because they're not going to be an asshole about it. Or if they are, it's not going to feel like they're trying to break you down, defeat you, and make you out to be something you're not. They will be a healthy experience of a conflict that might make other people perceive authority better, right? Or conflict better. Or just this vibe. And you are connected to guides. Like you're getting this message for a reason. Like why do you think that you're disconnected from spirit? Because that's what I'm getting from this card. Is like you're not disconnected from spirit. You're very in tune with spirit. You're making yourself out to be a person you're not and acting like you are a martyr that's at a disadvantage. And it's like you just need to stop acting like that. Just stop acting like that. Stop coming from that place. Believe and understand that like spirit and you is one, right? And you're okay to be who you need to be, even though someone's gonna shame you for it or say you're a problem or have a tantrum and act out. Like if a person that's always had their way, right, since they were a fucking toddler, becomes a egocentrical like narcissist, and they still maybe are, you know, a good person in some sense or whatever, they grew up like that, right? How the fuck are they gonna improve if you don't call them out of it and you don't take them off their game, right? Maybe they are gonna have a tantrum and a bunch of other things and call you this and that in names, but then they're gonna understand with time, like, oof, you know, like this is probably the first time I had someone speak against me, and it was someone that I looked to like this, or this is the relationship we had, or this is maybe just the first time, and it fucking sucks. Like, and then they start like improving, you know? That's kind of it. Hey. Huh, interesting cards. So yeah, you can't make that first step is being brought back up and reaffirmed because of someone leeching off of your fire energy, off of your, just energy in general, whatever. Um, This is talking about that person, right? Yes, this is. So this is talking about that person. This isn't talking about you. This is talking about that like hot-headed person that's critical and fast to judge and accuse people and really has like the room at their fingertips. It's like they're holding all the strings but not doing anything with the strings. Some of the strings aren't even theirs. They should delegate, but they just like feeling like a child in control, like ha ha ha, I can do whatever I want. That's because they've not developed through that. Um, yeah, basically, this is a very insecure person that that just hasn't had that progress or progression of like maturing and adulting in like a deeper sense. I'm sure this person, like obviously this person is appearing like a parent, so maybe they have a car or a house or finances. And generally, they had to bring up a fucking human being, so even if they don't do or have that, it doesn't mean anything, right? But inside, their age is like a very, very childish 12-year-old, like a very, very childish 12-year-old. Just about having tantrums, unsure about their emotions, where they're at in life, what's happening for them, and acting out of that uncertainty, as well as like, hormones are just kicking in, and instead of like breathing and talking about it, they're just the most dysfunctional, tantruming like kid you could ever fucking deal with. And I know I'm saying this in a very negative tone, which I'm so sorry. I'm not really like saying disrespect to anyone. I'm just being honest about how the cards are coming across and the point that like this person has more problems than you and you really need to go away and do your own thing because you see them in such a different light than who they actually are when it's really tough for them especially. You see them in such a pure light and they're not that they could be doing more is how it's coming across. Like it's their choice. They can be doing more and if they're not, they're not. Um, I think your guides are just mad that they're dragging you down and they don't have the right to do so. So, yeah, this will you doing this thing and you setting these boundaries is actually going to connect to you a lot of like good times and vibes. It's going to give you more time to spend your free time how you want and celebrate, go out, have some fun, maybe just recuperate. And the thing that you think is evil, the evil thoughts of like do this, tell them this, remove them from your life, set boundaries, go do this thing and be free, frolic through the fields. We believe in you. You believe in yourself. Like you feel this for a reason. That vibe that you have, you need to stop saying it's the devil or demonizing it or that it's some negative energy pushing and pulling you. No, it is spirit of love and light. They're just fucking making it about you for once, not about everyone else who made it about them and made you their lackey is how it's coming across. Like their emotional damn lackey. The one that like or how do you call the person that carries like all the freaking clubs in golf, right? Whatever, that person. I can't I remember the word as lackey, but I don't think it's lackey. Um yeah, you're not that person. Who are they to give all of their crap to you and then, to also disrespect you like that? Their game has been played and been good just because of you. Like really stop seeing yourself as the devil or you need to be a martyr, save people and self-sacrifice. That's really not healthy. Your guides are kind of upset about that and like you're so much better than this. You deserve to be happy and in a different place of the world is what I heard. You deserve to be in a different place of the world. I think that's very specific and particular to someone. So we have actually the Fool on the bottom of the deck as well. So there we go. And the Emperor, yeah. Down with the old system and the old ruler. They aren't good enough anyway. Whew, that was a lot. Thank you so much for having this reading. I wish you the very best of luck in whatever you're going through and where you're at. And yeah, feel free to check me out on Linktree down below. And if not, I don't know, do whatever. Thank you for, supporting the channel and doing the things. Hello, pile number 5. Yeah. So there is one thing that's coming across right away is like you might have a message in pile number 4, which is weird enough. Not 4, fuck. I wanted to say 3. The one with the 6 of Wands, anyway. So, yeah, the one with the 6 of Wands. But maybe it's now also 4 for some damn reason. Um, and it's really weird, at least from what I remember. I know that my tarot deck is like a new iteration of the Raider Wait or whatever. The way I know this is through the Haunted Object like podcast, which I'm so thankful for like Dana Newkirk talking about the history of the tarot deck, especially this one, and how the art itself and the symbology has changed because I know mine doesn't have the details that were with the complete original, the very, 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 very first like edition, right? That didn't have colors change or anything else. Like I think my colors are more or less fine. Obviously it's holographic, but other details I've noticed that aren't there are not there. For example, I think in the complete original there's a celebration happening here, and that's all I'm gonna always remember here. 'Cause now it looks more like it'd be like the fucking Three of Cups or something. I don't know. I don't even know who this is now here. Whereas I believe there's actually like people gathering around the person on the Six of Wands in the very original. I'm actually going to pause and quickly check because this is very annoying to me now. So I'm going to be back and tell you if I'm talking out my ass or not. Okay, so I Googled and I figured out I think I had a Mandela effect because, or I can't find it, because I know that it's really like weird. A lot of the stuff I heard about the very original tarot deck or saw examples of, I can see that everything is mostly okay with my deck, but there's just simple little details like the strength card should have the what do you call it? The like leaves and the red berries or flowers around the woman, right? That actually extends down to the mane of the lion, and you can see the drawing, the black lines of it, but the coloration is completely orange, whereas it should have specks of green and red in it, which I've never fucking noticed, but it is definitely fucking there. And this card. I don't know, maybe there is like a part to it where there is a bunch of people gathered around a person on a horse and it kind of like is very minuscule and tiny detail and you just see a bunch of people like hovering around something. Maybe it's always looked like this. Either way, I could have potentially just had a timeline shift or a Mandela effect, and that can be somehow like relevant or significant to you if you have the complete retro old school Raider Waite and whatever like deck, right? That is the complete original of Pamela Smith's art. Um, then you can check for yourself. But either way, to me, if that represented or looked like basically the Four of Cups is a teleportation thing to um, get to the Six of Cups potentially, or somehow that like the six and the four is reflected. And that's just what I'm really feeling here is like you really have an energy of going through into a victory. I don't know. You actually, speaking about all the mystical stuff and other things, this pile might be the pile of psychics and mystics. Some of you have already seen other piles and they've led you here. Whatever, you know. But this feels like people that are in the whole, like in the holding bit or in the waiting room after entering a portal. There's a bunch of other people in the portal with you, or like not in the portal with you. I'll reiterate that. You went through a portal, you're in this waiting room. There's a lot of other people that are on their own paths. You don't know them. That are also in a waiting room, and there's just a collective of that all across the planet. And they will be teleporting to the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands, um, I don't know, something's coming across with that. Like the whole suit is kind of in front of my eyes. I don't fucking know why. Um, Just because you're gonna hit the Six of Wands doesn't mean there's not gonna be the rest of them. So take it with a grain of salt. It's not supposed to scare you. It's just supposed to say like when things are gonna be amazing, great, and you're gonna be living your life, the best life in your fairy tale, life is gonna be life still. There's no avoiding life for what life is. Doesn't matter how many good things you have happen. The beauty of those good things is that like life has every color and emotion and feeling and experience in eternity. You know, you are going to have long-lasting, sustainable things, but some of them will become obvious to have been like a fleeting thing or a transition or something like minute, right? Finite. That wasn't what you thought it was, and it'll just like hone and expand you to go further on to even better things and higher whatevers. Um, there's also a thing coming through with psychic attacks here, so don't worry about that. It's not affecting you because you are being protected, but ceremonies and rituals of either giving away energy from other people, beings, environments that you might suck up through the day is important. Taking and calling your power back, aspects back, your energy back is important. And I'll explain it because I feel like some of you are like confused. Aren't all of those the same? Not exactly. So when you call your energy back, you're calling your energy back. But if you specify it to calling your aspects back, then any like part of you that's somewhere else, because of whatever reasons, mine, for example. Actually, no, I'm not going to share that. Maybe another time. We don't know each other well enough for that, so. But yeah, you honestly might have aspects that like sit around people, exes, family, friends, right? And they just sit there a lot of the time out of obligation. Sometimes it's because of your attachment or toxicity to it, but really, or someone trying to hold you down, but really it's like sometimes it's worth calling those aspects back and saying like, hey, stay with me or integrate back with me or like I want to come into whole, right? I don't want to be segregated, separated. So that's the difference between calling your energy back and calling your aspects back, because it could be like, oh, an aspect of you when you were a teenager, a kid, it could be your inner, I don't know the equivalent of maiden to a man, but like your inner Mandan. I don't know, guys. But different aspects, different parts of you can be scattered around like that. But yeah, don't worry about that. Just do cleansing, call back your energy. Um, you might want to have a regular thing with baths or something like cleansing your energy, having regular showers, even if you're not like, um, even if you're not one to have like a lot of that, or you don't want to mess up your skin or your hair through the products and whatever, just have a freaking shower, just for the trickling effect of water, and have the intent of it clearing, cleansing you and releasing whatever doesn't serve you. Yeah, incense sticks, candles, airing your whole house out, completely airing your whole house out, and also opening all the blinds, actually like sweeping the floor, vacuuming it also does the work because the vacuums nowadays have like fibers with it, right? So that's kind of brooming and vacuuming. Whatever it is, like something you haven't rearranged for ages, go do that. Redecorate, maybe, like anything you can do to be cleansing, moving energy, and putting it back to, like, sending it back to whatever isn't for your highest good is really important because I feel interference. And it's not really doing anything. It's just like if you don't keep up with the intention of having a clear space or sovereignty over your own power or sitting in your own clarity and power and thoughts and emotions, right? It can start bringing you down, or you might not notice how subconsciously you're focusing on a thing, but you keep hearing this narrative, and it is like you can ask it out, and it doesn't have that tension that's being put upon you. But otherwise, it's kind of like a tension that builds up, and then out of nowhere, you have a mood swing or a breakdown or an agitation or nothing's wrong, and out of nowhere, you feel shit. That's because there's some crap happening around you. Which please do not worry, right? If you worry, please, you might not be ready to listen to this. Yeah, but you're advancing. You're getting through the last of it. It's just uncomfortable waiting time vibes, and yeah, yeah, I feel like some of you wish you had some more friends with you on this journey. It's okay that you don't, but you kind of just wish you had some friends. There is a stream of love supporting my dreams. Ooh. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good for all. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me towards right-minded thinking and the energy of love. And oneness is my true nature. So yeah, I can understand and see now why I mentioned previous piles, because literally all of these cards are all from the previous like piles. Not all of them were in the same pile, or was it in the same? No, actually, all of them were in one same pile. But I've shuffled this after every single pile. Yeah, I'm not the greatest of shufflers, but still they came out in a weird specific way for a reason. Like I shuffle enough. I'm gonna leave it at that. I shuffle chill and calm and slightly in clumps sometimes, but I do shuffle through shit really well. I think it just this had to be like this for a reason. There's something about all of these cards have a different message that was reiterated throughout the previous readings for you specifically. So if you were called to other readings, there's like hidden keys about how to settle your mind and energy better and like, protect or be ritualistic or like hone in on your own vibes and life and process and actually see it for whatever it needs to be seen. This is the first time I'm seeing this card as a fucking eye. Maybe I've seen it like an eye at some other point, but I've never seen it like an eye previously. Look at the little lines. You see those little lines? It's like the eye when it has those. It's really cool, isn't it? Yeah, it's like an eye. Yeah, we're going through a portal. It's cool. It's all right. I think that whole oneness is my true nature is also speaking to the portal. Wait for a moon cycle or two is coming across, and let yourself go through, the good and bad emotions without being stuck in either of them. You're doing really well. It's okay. You're not hearing anything new. It's just, reminding you to focus and to keep your clear mind clear. And you don't really actually need any more readings. Like, there we go. The Ten of Cups was also in the previous reading, but you fucking saw how it flipped out. Anyway, it's just cool. This reading today is cool. It has like a very ominous, magical energy. Is ominous only a negative word? Because I recently had that question. To me, ominous can also mean it's just an ominous energy, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that it's good or bad. It's just like something is left unsaid and there's a rising tension because it's unknown or confusing or mysterious, right? You can correct me on that one if you want to, but it's like a good ominous feeling of like there's so much magic and connectivity and reflection in all of the readings today that it's just so interesting. Um, and every reading has been very different, although they've been harping on the same on the same decision for some people, or on the same vibe, or on the same thing or something, but like the stories and whatever occurring is quite different. So start thinking positively about your life instead of fighting away your passions. I think you're trying to be kind of like cold-nerved and like proper and prepared, but actually what you're doing is like you're fighting away the vibe and feeling of dreams, trying to make it practical and real, and then you're losing a lot of the magic and spark through that. It's okay because currently it's not big, right? It's kind of like, oh, I was hyped, and now I'm not as hyped. And you could be like, oh, I'm not as naive as I was when I thought of it. But then also, you're literally, you can go either way. You can blow stuff up to be like this big thing, but then you can also put it down or make it overly rational and real, and then you're not feeding what it needs to be fed, because like rational, practical, real things is a part of life and it will always happen. There's no escaping it. Fixating about stuff like that doesn't help it. It just brings it down, right? Could it also make things impossible because things happen as they happen, and there's like a bigger catalog of how magic can occur in practical ways than we know or we think we know. It just, I think it's this part in a lot of people's lives in the world where it's like there's nothing else to be known or figured out, and it's a collective vibe that's purging out. We no, we have so much more ahead, you know? And I think you're kind of just feeling two worlds right now. Like, yeah, I think you're trying to keep cool and get through this, and you are gonna get through this. There's no doubt. Hardships are over and done. It's kind of like how are you gonna pilot your own mind, the plane of your own mind and heart, right? How are you gonna pilot that? Where are you gonna direct it? Fucking knew the 601s had a connection over here. Yeah, this reading is definitely the mystics and the yeah. This is the mystics, the weirdos, the ones that like live life in their head and then have the most weirdest of fucking stories to talk about once a few years passes and they live a little bit. Yeah, you guys have been doing something. It's coming to fruition. You're going through the portal. It's all coming together. It's kind of like yeah, you're just in that plane, just like you know, I'm excited, but I'm fucking scared too. What the fuck is gonna happen? Like it's kind of like that. Woo, you know, let's have some fun. Top and bottom only. Yeah, no more. This is the last of the cards. Okay, so you good. You good. It's still kind of hard because you just let go of the feeling of being alone at it, just like by yourself and not having support and other things or other shit happening in the world and life. And you're only now very sheepishly coming out of either. It feels like coming out of a cave, this one, although Page of Pentacles, but it feels like coming out of your cave, looking around the corners and being like, where do I go? What do I do? Is that okay? Is that like taking your time and being slow with doing the stuff that you like and want? And it's just kind of like you're looking to it, but you still have this grogginess of coming out of the cave and being wary. But you are like, oh, okay, like that's the next step. There I'm gonna go. This is gonna happen. Da 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 da, you know? So yeah. That is it. That's all I got for you. I have no idea how quick or slow any of the readings have been, but this one seems like it was short in time and a lot of info came through. Like it was jam-packed with fucking stuff. So, um, Thank you so much for having this reading and being, a part of like the Energy Collective. I appreciate you. I think you're quite awesome and special. And yeah, if you want to go to the link tree down below, you'll find some more websites I post on. And thank you for all of the likes and other stuff. Have a good one and bye bye.